the dark waters of the Philippine Sea. It was July 1945. The USS Indianapolis, a Portland-class heavy cruiser, was on a secret mission to deliver components for the first atomic bomb to the U.S. base on Tinian Island. The operation was covert, and the ship moved swiftly through the Pacific, carrying out its duty as World War II neared its end. After completing its mission, the Indianapolis was headed back, slicing through the calm waters of the Philippine Sea. The crew of nearly 1,200 men could feel a bit of relief and pride for the part they'd played in history. But fate had other plans. In the early hours of July 30th, a Japanese submarine, I-58, lurked nearby. Detecting the cruiser, it released a barrage of torpedoes. The USS Indianapolis had no chance. 2 torpedoes struck with devastating force. Explosions ripped through the hull, flooding compartments and igniting fires. Within 12 minutes, the massive ship split and sank, leaving around 900 sailors stranded in the water. The sea turns red. In the dead of night, with the sea swallowing them up, the sailors scrambled for life vests and rafts. The waves bobbed with the survivors, scattered across a vast, dark expanse. Yet their ordeal was just beginning. With limited food, no radio, and scorching sun overhead, they awaited rescue. The first day passed and hope faded into despair. But as the sun rose on the second day, dark shapes appeared beneath the waves. First it was a single shadow gliding below, then another. The men knew they were not alone. Sharks had come. At first, the sharks fed on the bodies of the men who hadn't survived the torpedoes. But as the hours ticked by, the feeding frenzy escalated. The vibrations of thrashing men and the smell of blood attracted more sharks. Survivors tried to band together, staying in groups to appear larger and hopefully deter attacks. But as hunger and dehydration set in, the men drifted and the sharks struck, picking off anyone who strayed too far. A battle of will. Day turned to night again, and terror gripped the survivors. Cries and screams echoed in the darkness as more men were dragged beneath the surface, disappearing without a trace. Each morning, there were fewer faces. A sailor named John Quinn held onto the remnants of his sanity, clinging to the lifeboat with every ounce of strength he had left. He prayed silently, gritting his teeth as he felt shadows brush against his legs. The men in the water started hallucinating, imagining that ships or rescuers were coming. Some swam off believing they saw land or rescue vessels only to vanish. Many others suffered the same fate, pulled beneath the waves by the unseen, relentless predators below.
On the 4th day, their numbers had dwindled, and the sharks continued their relentless assault. Those left behind were mere shadows of themselves, skin blistered from the sun, lips cracked and swollen from thirst. The ocean had become a graveyard, a churning nightmare of salt water, desperation, and blood. A glimpse of hope. Finally, on the 5th day, a miracle occurred. A Navy patrol plane on a routine flight spotted the debris and survivors. The pilot, Lieutenant Wilbur Gwynn, radioed for help. Ships arrived quickly, pulling men from the water as the sharks circled, unwilling to leave. Rescue efforts were frantic, but only 316 men were saved. For the survivors, the memory of those 5 days would haunt them for the rest of their lives. They had witnessed not only the brutality of war, but the sheer, raw force of nature. The Philippine Sea had swallowed over 500 men in the largest,